everyone, I'm Dr. Sonali and I welcome you all to CSE Core Concepts in the series of Data Science with Python. So in my previous video, we have explored some of the data processing methods and functions for the Pandas library, and let us continue that as a part 2 here, where we have finally we stopped where by missing values, okay, handling missing values. Now we are going to check on another important features, that is duplicate values. So many time it often occurs in our CSV files that there are certain data which are duplicates. Now if you use these duplicate values to calculate some of the important functions or statistical measures, then it may lead you to some wrong results. So it is important to remove or drop these all duplicate values. So to remove the duplicate values, we are going to use the drop duplicate method. So by default, it will scan the entire data frame, and whichever is the first occurrence, it will retain it, and rest all will be removed, right? So I will show you one example here. So let us say, for example, this is our data. First of all, we are going to import our library files. So now this is our data where I have three columns, that is name, age and city. And in the name, you can see Alice, Bob, Alice, David. So this feature Alice is being repeated. Okay. So because all the values are same, Alice 25 New York, and this is also Alice 25 and New York. So it is missing. So it is duplicate, sorry. So I am first converting into a data frame. So now if I want to okay, first let us see the original data frame. Understood? Now if I want to clean this data frame, now again here, when you are cleaning the data frame, it will create a new data frame. Understood? So you can say df underscore cleaned is equals to df dot drop duplicates. Okay. So you can use the function drop duplicates. Okay, and simply you can print the cleaned data, that is df underscore cleaned. Right. So now you can see over here that the third record, this is the new data. So the third record has been deleted. Okay, the Alice was duplicate. So this is one way. Then you can drop based on specific columns, right? Not all you want to drop. So let's say you want to check the name column, but name is sometimes, you know what happens, it is very common that more than one people can have the same name, right? So you cannot assume that this is a duplicate entry. But yes, if two records have the same phone number or same email address, then you say that yes, this is a duplicate entry. Understood? Same PAN card, same Aadhaar card, then you can say that yes, it is a duplicate entry. So how to find out the duplicates based on the column values? So you will use the drop duplicates function, but with some values like subset is equals to none. What is a subset? If you want to specify the column, which column if you want to check. If not provided, then all the columns will be matched, okay, to find out the duplicate. But yes, you can write down your, let's say, email address is, let's say, a field, okay, so that it will find out the duplicates based on the email address field. Keep first means which one to keep. The first copy you want to keep, the rest are the duplicates. So first will keep the first occurrence. Now if you are saying last, then it will keep the last copy. And in place is equal, and if you are writing at keep false, then it will remove all occurrences, okay, not even keep one of them. So the three options are first, last and the false. And in place is false means what you want to create, okay, modify the data frame. Or if you want to do it here only, then you can always say in place is true. So return type, it will return with a new data frame. And if you are writing in place true, then it will not create a new data frame. Understood? So this is how you can check for the duplicate, which is very logical, right? Then you can drop duplicates based on a specific column, that is just now we saw subset. Then last occurrence, okay, of the duplicate you can create. Then drop duplicate false and modifying in place is true. Okay, I hope you understood all the four arguments. Now, another feature about the Pandas library is that concatenation of frames. What do we mean by concatenation? Concatenation means what? We are joining, merging, concatenation are all different. Now you will realize it. Okay, so it is concatenating means you are stacking them on the top of each other, right? Or either vertically or horizontally. So let us say, for example, I have a frame. Let's say this is my one data frame. Okay, so this is one data frame. It has 4 columns: name, age, address, and qualification. And these are some of the data. And second data I have, which is again having the same 4 columns. Two places, I sent 2 people to 2 different places. They created it, right? 2 different data files. So now I want to concatenate it, right? So what I am doing is that df1, first I am converting both the values into a data frame, and let us print it. See, what you are doing is that here you have printed just the first data frame, that is df1. Now, if you want to concatenate it, what are you going to do is that you can set the axis, right? So axis, how are you going to join it? Join is equals to either inner for intersection of the frames. Now, inner means what? Sometimes what happens that there are certain columns here. In this case, I have kept the same name of the columns, right? But always it may not be. Suppose here there is an additional column, gender, right? There is an additional column. So now if I am saying inner, then what will it do is that it will keep only the common columns, right? Common columns means what? It will only create the columns which are common, that is name, age, address, and qualification. But if I am saying it is outer, then it will tell all the columns, right? Okay, so let us say I have added one more column here, that is gender. So let me first try it out. Now I have created 2 data frames and I can consider them in the frames array also, or I can keep them separate also. Not a problem here. Now what am I doing here is that I can first concatenate. Okay, let us simply concatenate them. Now the resultant frame will be, let's say, result 1. Okay, so I'm writing pd.concat and the frames I want to concat, or I can write df1 and df2. Both will be same. You can see here the 0th index belongs to the first value, where gender is nan. Why gender is nan? Because here the column gender was not there, right? So whichever is not there, that is nan. Now this is one way by which we can do, and the other way is that here we have seen that we have set axis join inner for intersection of data frames which keeps only the common columns, right? So let us say, we can say outer, let us say outer is the union, right? So if I am saying axis is 1, okay, that means columns, right? I am talking about the columns, axis 1, and join outer. So you can see it is giving an outer join of all the records. Now you can see here these are nan, where these are the values. Understood? So it is giving a all products. Right? This is how you can join. Concat. Then second comes merging. So now merging means what? It is combining the data frames based on some common columns. Right. So if you are doing merging here, it will do a merging. It is stacking up one up the other. If you are writing concat. But if you are doing merging here, what it will do, the common column base, that is name, age, address, qualification, it will merge. So the function is dot merge using with. So you can write pd dot merge df and df1. These are the 2 data frames on the key value which you have to give, right? So let's say you are having one key value, a common key values, or you can have multiple. Now merging can be written using the how argument also. How to find out the resulting table, because if a key combination does not appear in left and right table, then it will be joined using NA. See, there are 4 merges left. Left outer join. This is same as that of SQL. Okay, you can refer to my DBMS playlist for this understanding. So left outer join means from the left frame, whichever frame is on the left side, it will use those keys from the left side. Right from the right side. Full outer means union of all the keys from both the frames, and inner means intersection of both the frames, right? So you can use this function over here. So you write down, let us say for example, you want to merge it, right? So you are saying result 1, let me just put it in comments right now. Okay, and these are the two data frames which we have created, right? And so we can just write down result is equals to pd dot merge, right? Now merge, it is merging whom? df1 df2, right? If you are writing this much, you have to write how. See, here it is showing how inner, let's say on age, let's say you are doing it on age and print this. See, so it is doing the merging based on the age column. So age column is not repeated, you know, like a composite key. Okay, so it will foreign key and primary key. So one key will act as a foreign key on the other column, that wise, right? So this is the age, based on that it has merged, right? So this is how you can merge based on common columns. So this is one interesting example. There are keys. Key is K0, K1, K2, K3. Key 1 is also this, and name and age. Okay, here they have used the keys name so that they can merge it and see the result. So the both of them have been merged. So this we have seen how left merge, outer, inner, whatever you want to on the key. You can mention one key or you can mention multiple keys. Similarly, you can merge it based on the right also. Then you have joining. Joining used to combine two columns of based on their indexes rather than their column. Joining, okay, based on indexes. So if you are writing df.join, and you can use it using the key also. So all three are different. Okay, so if you want to try them out, you can create such a data frame and you can execute each one of them and you can find out. Result is equals to, you can say df1 dot join. You want to join it with the second data frame, right? df2, and you can print resultant data frame. Okay, so you can see the error. Sorry, here we are getting the error because, okay, so now the problem here is with our data frame is that we cannot merge, join this because there are the overlapping columns. Now, if you have overlapping columns, like these column names are correct, right? So in that case, you have to give for the left suffix and the right suffix. But of course, if you want to merge it, you can merge it using concat or merging. Not an issue, right? So this is used to combine the columns of two data frames if they are different. But the data frame which we have taken in example, it is same. Then another feature here is the sorting. Sorting of a data frame means you simply sort out the values. So here you will be sorting, by default it is in ascending order and simply nothing special about it. And if you want to sort in descending order, you simply have to write the name of the as ascending is equals to false, right? So let us we can try it over here. So we have two data frames here, data 1, data 2. So you can try it on any one of the data frame and you can sort them in the order of their ages, let's say. Okay, so you can say sorted underscore df is equals to, can we do it on the first data frame, pd dot data frame is you want to do it on the first data frame. So df1 dot sort. Now sort based on values or based on index, right? So sort based on the values, let's say. Okay, so I can do it, sorry, it is not coming. Sort based on the values. Now you can see over here, you have to tell the column name by which you want to sort. So by, you will write is equals to age, and be very, very cautious about your case sensitivity, right? Print, you want to print the sorted df. So it will simply sort in the order. And if you want to have in a descending order, you can say ascending is equals to false. So it will do it in the descending order, right? So nothing. And you can sort it based on multiple columns also, age, score, etc. So sorting based on the missing values. So you want to keep all the missing values first. So you will write down the argument NA positions first. So first all the missing values will come and then the data will be sorted. Similarly, you can sort it by the index. By default, it is sorted based on the index itself. And one important feature here is that you can sort based on other sorting algorithms also using the kind parameter. Okay, kind parameter. Which other sorts? Quick sort, merge sort, heap sort. I hope you know them. If you do not know them, you can check out my data structures playlist. Sorting and searching playlist, where I will give that link in the description box. So using that playlist, you can understand these are the different types of sorts, and you can use these sorts also in your sorting data frame. So here you will have to write down key. You have written the sorting this data frame, right? And you can write down which type of sorting you want to do. So if you are writing df underscore sort values by the column name kind is equals to, you can write down quick sort, merge sort, heap sort. Okay, so you can do it in low, convert into lower and then sort. So any type of sorting you can do also. This is the beauty of the pandas library. So now we will work on the further approach of pandas library, that is we will do some exploratory data analysis using pandas, right? So which is very essential, like normalization for machine learning courses, like we will do the features like as normalization, visualization and so on. Okay, so don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel and keep a watch on this channel so that you can get some informative videos. Thank you.